G'day, Heath here from pickinglessons.com. The Boys of Ballycastle, what a great tune. We're in the key of E minor. There are two parts. It's a hornpipe, but we're going to talk about that in a moment, what that is. We're going to break down the first four measures of the A section just to get us going and look at some ornaments and the hornpipe feel in a moment. But if you head to pickinglessons.com, you'll grab a copy of the tablature. You'll also find the remainder of this lesson for part A and B in the members section and some backing and play along tracks also. Now, let's have a look at this first four measures, get into the melody, but more importantly, get into the feel of the hornpipe. I've got a couple of ornaments we're going to have a look at as well, so additions to the melody beyond the basic melody. Now, firstly, so we're in the key of E minor, so scale-wise, it's pretty straightforward. It's just a natural minor scale. So the E minor scale, you can look at those notes also being the key of G, yeah? So if you know your G scale, you're also going to know your E natural minor scale. The E is our root note, though. Now, the hornpipe feel, this is the important thing to begin with. So the hornpipe is basically like a swung feel. So our eighth notes are uneven when we play them. If this was straight, it would sound like this. So that was playing with straight eighths, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and nice and even. But we want a swing feel for this, or a shuffle for this. And that's typically how a hornpipe we go about it. There are variations, but this one we're using this shuffle feel. So what we end up hearing is this. So the eighth notes that we're using there in our down-up picking end up being this feel. Down. So they're uneven. Yeah, so straight eighths, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The shuffle, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that the shuffle feel is what we want. A good way of thinking of that initially is if we count in threes for every beat and go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the down is on the 1, the up is on the 3, and that therefore gives us that uneven feel which we kind of want. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Another way of thinking of it is long, short, long, short, long, short. So the up strum or the up beat is later. So we sort of push it out later within each beat before we play that next down on the pulse. So the pulse is the same, the downstroke's the same, it's the upstroke that changes. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. So we need to apply that to the melody. And it works really well with the triplets as well, because when we do get to a triplet, we have the 1, 2, 3 in our feel already. So let's have a look at some of the melody. We'll ditch the first little ornament and we'll just have a look at the melody in the first measure, working on the right hand and getting that hornpipe feel. So just from the first beat of the first measure, 3, 4. Okay, so that third, second fret, straight to the open string, forget the pull off, then run through the rest of those notes. So try it again. Ready, and 1. Ready, and long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, yeah? Down, up in your right hand. Just get used to that feel. Da, 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 da. Yeah? Pulse is the pulse. It's the upstrokes that change for this feel. The upstrokes are pushed later in the beat. One more time, first measure, 3 and 4 and 1. So that theme's going to continue on as we go. Let's bring in the pickup. The pickup's on the fourth beat. Count in. 2, 3, 4, 1. Yeah? Let's bring in the ornament though that we find on beat 2. So what we have here is a grace note pull off on the second beat. So we want the pull off to be quite instant. So as we pick the note, we pull off just after and it gives us this really cool effect. Just that slightly offset pull off, yeah? So we do hear the second fret, but we only hear it for that tiniest of moments before the open string is our more important fundamental note that we hear on beat 2. So from the first beat, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, One more time, ready, and. So a little bit quicker. You can hear how that kind of just sort of bumps out that second beat there a bit more accentuated in what we hear. We do have another one of those in a moment. Let's move on though to measure 2. Measure 2, we have a triplet. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and then that grace note pull off again. So a triplet, if you're not aware, a triplet is 3 notes in the space of 2. In this case, it's 3 eighth notes in the space of 2 eighth notes normally. So in one beat. Now, the 3 eighth notes, if we think about how we were counting earlier for the shuffle, 1, 2, 3, that's our 3 triplet notes. So 1, 2, 3 in the beat. Put that with beat 1 for a moment. We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. There's your third beat. One more time. Now, picking wise, 3 notes, just alternate those, down, up, down, yeah? And that presents a challenge because the next beat, as a downstroke, we want to come in and play as a down. So we have 2 down strokes in our playing there. Down, down, down. So up to a reasonable tempo, that's going to be more challenging. Now, we could alter it, it would be okay. It would be okay to play as an upstroke. So you go down, down, up, and then up on there. It just sort of puts it off kilter a little bit. I prefer to play it as a down. It's not that big a deal, but if you feel like you need to play as an up, that's okay. You just come back to your regular picking after that. But if you can get to that down, again, it's going to reinforce our pulse in the playing. And it's not that big a deal. We're not going to be playing this one super fast. And getting to that downstroke there isn't that much of a challenge. So down, up, down, down. Down, up, down, down. Yeah? To the grace note on beat 4. This time we've got 3rd fret, so we want 2 fingers in place. As we pick down, just after that, second finger flicks off to the 2nd fret B there. Okay, so let's try the first 2 measures with the pickup. 3, 4, 1. To that 3rd measure there, yeah? Let's keep going. Measure 3, this is an easy one. Quarter note, make sure we hold it. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and measure 4. And we'll pause there for a moment. So those quarter notes there are the open strings. So don't rush the quarter notes, that's important. Make sure you hold the pulse for those ones. Otherwise, our grace notes and our triplets. So that kind of spices up the tune, yeah? We could definitely leave them out and play it in a more basic way, but adding those little things just gives it a little bit more character. The shuffle, or the hornpipe feel, we should say, is really important for this one. Again, if we played it straight, it feels completely different the way it should be. And that's the way we're approaching it here. Okay, so pickandlessons.com. Go grab yourself a copy of the tablature, but in the members section there, we're going to break down the remainder of this tune and have a look at what other ornaments we have and just focus on getting to know the picking patterns and the melody in a really nice way. So pickandlessons.com. I'll see you there.